Facebook, how you doing? What's up? What's up? Guess who's back? Your favorite Ruby girl. It has been a while. I know it's been some weeks. It probably felt like some years, but I'm back and I'm back with the most amazing woman in on this side of the world. Yes, while I was gone, I was searching for somebody. I said, when I come back, I got to bring back somebody that's really going to blow my audience minds, that's really is going to be powerful. And guess who I found? Miss Sharon. Hey, welcome.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for having me. I'm looking forward to this moment. I'm excited about this journey. So, hey.
Hey, so our story of how we met, it was a divine connection. We just been connected for the last few months, and she showed up at my event 2 Saturdays ago. Yeah, it's 2 Saturdays ago. And when I tell you, she's the most professional, sweetest, kindest person that you even want to be in the room with. And so tonight, I'm excited because she gets to talk about her book. Is this like your first interview for your book?
Yes, it is. I wanted you to be the person to, la help me launch it forward because I love your person and I love your audience. I love what you bring to the people. So, yes, I just wanted it to be Miss Ruby to just bring that forward. So, thank you.
You're welcome. So I'm gonna give you an opportunity to do a 30-second introduction. But first, I just want to tell them what Ruby Girl is. So I know, are we Facebook friends yet?
We will be if we are not. I do. Someone else works that for me, and I definitely will
Okay.
make sure that you're on that list.
Okay, all right. So, usually I tell people to go find this video, but what I'm gonna do tonight, I'm gonna go ahead and get my $1 million commercial. Uh, so, hey everybody, welcome back to the Ruby Girl Talks. I just want to tell you what Ruby Girl really is about. Ruby Girl comes from Proverbs 31 and 10. Who can find that virtuous woman for her price is far above the price of a ruby. So I know that word virtuous is kind of like people might feel like it's outdated, but being virtuous, having morals, having a God standard, it never goes out of style. And it is a God standard that He has set into the earth until He comes back again. And so, what the Ruby Girl platform does, it gives women, it gives men an opportunity to tell their story on the Ruby Girl Talk Show. But the actual platform, Ruby Girl, is to edify women, to bring back that respect that we used to get, that class we used to have. Because look, just because it faded, don't mean we can't scrub it and bring it back to life. Being a woman of virtue, being a woman with God's standard is the best thing that you can ever be. You talking about favor. I know God says that a man attaining favor when he find a good thing, but I believe a woman is wrapped in favor when she walks upright before the Lord. So tonight we have a woman that's virtuous. We have a woman that's powerful. We have a woman that what she does is intentional because she believes that every decision that you make, every move that you make should precisely line up with your destiny and your purpose that God has given you. So I'm going to give her 30 seconds to give us this powerful introduction. Go ahead, Miss Sharon. Miss Sharon.
Well, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction and welcome everyone. And I'm so excited here. Life's twists and turns can leave you feeling stuck. But what if you could develop a resilient mindset to overcome obstacles and thrive? And that's what we're talking about today. So, introducing Budge, a transformative guide that explores the intersection of resilience and personal growth. Now, this book offers practical strategies, including a cutting edge app, which features things like today's mood, what you're feeling today. So it'll track the intensity of your moods. It has box breathing meditation, add habits and habit changing tools so you can track those. Gratitude journal. It also has a community group for support. So Ruby Girl will be a part of that group. So it also has inspiring stories and expert guidance to help navigate life changes and make intentional decisions, to develop a growth oriented mindset, to build a support network leverage resources for success. So take the next step towards a more resilient, purpose-driven you. Get the copy. Budge is available January 1st, 2026, and we will have all the information for you. You can go to budge at budgeforward.com and or call us at 1-800-882-2091 to get your copy and a free copy being a part of this Ruby Girls uh, interview. So if you want a free copy, you send to that email.
Oh, wait a minute, you got me typing. Let me get my
Yes.
free copy. So Sharon, so
Yes.
you just explained to us a little bit about how awesome and phenomenal your book is. To come out with a book and already have an app connected to that to the book, that lets me know that you are out the box speaker, that what you do top notch. And so we would just want to talk about, I know you are an author, a best-selling author at that, but you're also a speaker. Now, what has helped you to be successful in those areas? Because some people just speak, some people just write, but you have become a top-notch speaker and a best-selling author. That takes a little work. So tell us how you did it.
Well, we've all been stuck. So in the moments when I was stuck, and it was very difficult for me to move forward. I wanted to come up with a way that not only that I will be helping myself emotionally because I was becoming emotionally drained, it was affecting every part of my life. So I wanted to know how I could step forward, what I could do to budge. So that was my budging moment to to discover a way that I could overcome obstacles, but then be able to share it with others, the process it took me to do that, how I could break free from fear and doubt and find clarity in my purpose and unlock the sense of accomplishment, waiting on or allowing an option to be no longer an, I should say no longer an option, time to be no longer an option. So that's what I did. I decided to just go ahead and start doing research and look at ways to where I could develop me. And that's when I developed Budge. And Budge is actually an acronym which means be you do God, be you do good, or be you do great. And it has jewelry and different things to follow that as well. And that will be available on QVC in the upcoming quarter. So be looking out for that. So that's what I did. I grabbed onto that. And so you'll be able, once again, to download that information in your journey and so that you can be in that journey with me. So that's what I did so that those things that were holding me back would not continue to hold me back.
So you took Budge and
Mhm.
you put it into a framework.
Yes.
And from that framework, you worked it into your speaking engagements, and then you eventually sat down and you wrote a book about it. So it's like you lived it, and
Yes.
now you put it in writing so that we can live it. You tested it
Yes.
to make sure that it worked.
For
And
many
so
years.
yes, and
For many years.
so now that you have successfully navigated it, now you like, now I can share it with
Yes.
everybody else. I hear a lot of people saying, they can't connect with a person unless a person been through what they've been through, or they proven this, or they proven that, and stuff like that. And I get it. To me, I'm a little bit different, and maybe
Hmm.
because I'm a teacher,
Okay.
I like to, if a person tell me something, I'm not going to ask you, have you tried it? I'm just going to find out, does it resonate with me? And
I
your
like
book
that.
resonate with me because Budge is like a little movement,
Yes.
a slight movement. And a lot of times we think we have to make big moves to be successful, but success comes one step at a time,
One step at a time.
one decision as at a time, one intentional move at a time. We just see people and they look like they went from to the bottom to the top. That's it.
Hmm.
We don't never see the journey in between, and a lot of people don't give us that back story of, I started here and I came here. But I know that you grew up. You
Yes.
started in Mississippi, am I
Yes,
right?
I did. Yes, I did.
So one thing about that people think that people in Mississippi have is like, we have a substandard. You notice I said we, because I came from Mississippi too. And so
Okay.
I my the lady that owns the school that I got my honorary doctorate from, now she came from Salis, I think it's Salis, Mississippi. She wasn't
Oh,
far. Yeah, she came from a very small town. Now,
okay.
this woman owned multiple schools here in the United States, even in
Nice.
Africa. She's an ambassador, very intelligent. And she
Oh,
tells me all the time, she said, I don't want you to have that Mississippi mindset. So we want the world to know
yes,
that Miss Sharon and Miss
yes.
K Run, we came from Mississippi and
Thank
we
you.
don't have that mind. We have a mindset of growth because
That's
if
right.
you
But
come
that's
from
right. Budging is more than just,
yes,
yeah, it's more than just a move it. It is like you said, it's a mindset shift. It's
yes.
deciding that today is the
Hmm.
day you take control.
Mm,
Today is the day you budge. Today is the day that you break free. So
wow.
yes, I'm totally in 100% agreement with that.
And you're right. I told my group this weekend today, I said, you have to start, everything starts in today. Nothing
Yes.
starts in tomorrow.
Yes.
Nothing ends in yesterday. Everything starts and begin in today. And you're right. You have to budge. You got to budge. You got to move
Yes.
just a little bit. And I think when we start to explain to people that movement is just a step and not a leap, because a leap
Mm.
takes a lot more energy
Yes, it
than it
does.
does to take one step, right?
Yes. But a
Okay.
buzz is just a nudge. You
Mm,
just gotta, even when you're sending that frequency forward, when there's a frequency going forward, when you breathe out, there's a frequency. And so that's why it's very important that even when you speak positive because that goes into the atmosphere. And you're setting your atmosphere. And Budge in the book, it talks about alignment because many people want blessings and they want things and they're looking forward to breakthroughs, but they don't understand that in order to obtain that, it's going to require alignment. When you're
mm,
ready for your finances to really break through, are you ready to be aligned so that you can receive that blessing? God has it for us. There is no reason that we cannot obtain it, but you must align and be ready to budge forward to obtain that thing or those things. There is nothing, God does not withhold any good thing from us.
mm,
You believe it, you walk in it, and you obtain it. And it is possible. And it only takes a moment. Just like when water penetrates through for over a period of time, you know it's going to have some effect on a rock or some effect on whatever it's penetrating on continuously. That's just that little nudge, that little budge makes a difference, and it will get you there.
mm. Wow, that's deep. So
Mhm,
how can people, we talked about making intentional decisions. How
mhm,
can people make intentional decisions that keep them moving forward? Because some decisions that we make, they paralyze us,
mhm.
they set us back. But how can we be intentional and just moving forward?
Well, when you choose deliberately, you
Mhm,
budge forward with purpose rather than drifting. So in this movement, let me see, how would I put that? In this movement, when you move forth intentionally, God honors it because it reflects and it reflects the gift of time.
mhm,
So you like if you're experiencing, and this is one of the things that helped me during this time of as I was studying it, I noticed that as I began to respect the time and I started being intentional and deliberate, that joy began to come because this joy was not it was because I simply trusted in what God was doing. So this joy, and I call it joy to the world, is resilient. It remains even when the when things fluctuate. This joy, it doesn't move. So it when you begin to be in a season where you begin to unfold, there is, I call it refined awareness. And that's one of the things that Budge book talks about. It talks about when you are aware, when you are in a place where you're deliberate, when you are in that place where you're ready to receive. It aligns and it builds on you, but it does require something. It requires for you to have courage. That's what it requires. And see, courage to remain faithful to what God says, not to waver when things become displaced, not to start doubting and then going back and forth. So it requires that courage to remain. It's that courage where you trust God, where you believe Him for the outcome, that no matter what is going on around you, you don't listen to the noise, but you budge forward and you stay focused and you remain intentional and you choose to be, it is a choice. You choose to be deliberate. That's when that manifestation starts to take effect. That's when that joy becomes overwhelming because you're not allowing the circumstances and the situations around you to predict what your outcome is going to be. But you trust that God has already got the outcome. So you walk in it. And if at any time you want to speak doubt or negativity, or even when those negative thoughts come, you cast them down.
Mm.
You don't have to respond to them. You can choose to be silent. And in Budge, it teaches us there are steps on how to teach you how to be silent while the process is having its way. Let the process take effect. So be deliberate. Allow the process to take effect. Stay encouraged. Believe with all your heart. Be quiet if you cannot see it yet until you begin to see it, or speak it until existence. As you budge forward, as you are deliberate, your outcome, the promises will manifest in due season.
I like what you said, to be quiet
Hmm.
until you see it. A lot
Yes.
of times there's a lot of chatter in the waiting. We're talking, well, God, he's taking all day, he's this, da, 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 and that. And that could possibly be delaying what God has for us because God is listening to what we're saying. She don't sound like she has faith. She
Come
don't
on.
sound like
Oh.
she trusts
Hmm.
that I'm going to do this for her. But when you're silent, being
Mm.
quiet, because if you sitting in the doctor's office and you just like usually when I'm sitting, I'm out there reading, I know it's going to take time. I know I need to come and have some patience. So
Yes, yes.
my doctor moves fast, but I always come prepared to sit just in case. Soon as I get my book, she calls my name. And most of the time I'm like, oh, I was just getting in the story. So when you know that you're waiting on God for something, you have to come prepared to wait on his timing. You have to
Yes.
occupy. You have to do
There
something
you go.
while you wait on God.
Yes.
You just don't sit there and complain and fuss. And just like when the bus take all day. How many times
Yes.
do we keep looking at the direction? When you're at the bus stop, you keep getting up and you keep looking like if you look hard enough and long enough, the bus is going to manifest.
Yes.
I remember being at the bus stop. It was just something I just needed to look. Just like when you get in the elevator
Uh-huh.
and it's moving. No, you see people standing by the elevator, you have to walk up and push the button.
Hmm.
Everybody there push the button, but you feel like when you push that button, it's
I
gonna
know
make
it
it.
has a power.
Yeah. So, we gotta understand what's our posture,
Come on.
what's our speech language as we
Yes.
wait. That's good. That's good. So
Yes.
we're gonna take a 1 minute break. And so
Okay.
during this time, I'm gonna give you an opportunity for 1 minute to
Mhm.
just say whatever you got to say, give us words of encouragement, whatever is dropped in your spirit, and please give us your information, how to contact you. And I'm going to look on social media. So I'm going to turn the show over to you, Miss Sharon. You
Okay.
ready for it?
I'm ready for it.
All right, go right ahead.
Okay, I'm going to say this again, everyone. We've all been there, stuck in a moment, feeling like we're not moving forward. It's like being stuck in the mud, emotionally draining and affecting every part of our lives. But what if you could take a step forward? What if you could budge? Budging is more than just a movement. It is a mindset shift. It decides that today is the day you take control. When you budge, you break free from fear, you break free from doubt, you find clarity and purpose. You unlock a sense of accomplishment. Waiting is no longer an option. The cost of staying stuck is too high. You risk missing out on opportunities, experiences, and connections that could change your life. So, what's holding you back? Take the first step today, commit to budging forward, and join our community. And let's move forward together. Your next chapter is waiting on you. So, join us. Hashtag Budge Movement. You can communicate with us by sending us an email, budge, budge, at budgeforward.com. Send us an email for your free book and your free app.
All right. Thank you. You did so good. You stayed within a minute. I love people that are time sensitive. That's what I call it, time sensitive. So we got a few 100,000 people watching tonight.
Okay.
I can't say all their names, but to the few 100,000 people that's out there, I'm speaking it while I wait on
Yes,
you.
yes,
Yes.
it is so. It is so.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey. So we have Octavia in the house. Hey,
Hi,
Octavia. How
Octavia.
you doing? And we have, I almost called my own name. That's me. So we have Satoya Perry. I hope I said the name right. Hi, Satoya. And I keep wanting to say my name where I commented at. We have Tiffany in the house. Hey,
Hey, Tiff, Tiff.
Tiffany. Tiffany Cartwright in the house. Our traveling superstar, Blair Cherie. And Marietta Mills Jones, best-selling, no, award-winning author, I think 3 times. I have to put that in there. I have to let people know she's not just a best-selling author, she's an award-winning author.
I
So,
love it.
yes, hey ladies, I'm so glad y'all back in the audience. You join us tonight as we come back. The Ruby Girl Show. We took a break, but we back, and we fired up tonight. Miss Sharon has been giving us some good information to help us move. She hasn't not us buds. I feel like she's shoving us into our necks. I feel like a lot of us is moving into our necks. We finally got clarity. We finally got purpose. God shifted some things in our life.
Yes,
And the shift might have not been easy for some of us, because for some of us the shift took away some things. But I always say this, Miss Sharon.
yes,
God never takes anything from us. He moves it to move something else in our
yes,
life. It's just
yes.
like a box. You move the box over here, but then you take it and you take something else and put it in that place. And
Hmm.
that's what God does. So if you feel like God has just moved the best thing or just shifted you and whatever you're doing, know this. He doesn't take anything. He just moves it around.
Oh,
So God is doing a new thing in your
yes.
life. You feel it. It might not
Hmm.
feel good. I can talk from experience. Trust me. Miss Sharon, we talked about the big move that I got in my life, but I'm okay.
Yes,
Sometimes when God moves us, we don't like to come out of that comfort zone. We so comfortable in that nest. We don't have to fly. The mother, like the baby eagle in the nest, the mother eagle is bringing the baby the food. Only thing he got to do is open his mouth, and then
yes,
eventually that stops. And she's like, "You got to learn how to fly. You got to learn how to do what you need to do." And I believe God is pushing us into our eagleness during this
yes,
season. Yes, He's budging us.
yes.
He's like, it's time. It's time. And he's using you during this season. Your book comes out right in alignment with how God is shifting and reshaping people's lives. So let's talk a little bit more about Budge. What
Okay.
inspired you? You talked a little bit about how you got started with Budge, but what season of life were you in when this message became clear to you? Where was you at and what was going on in your life during this time?
There were so many setbacks because I had been believing for things and I trust God. So as I was in a season of waiting, when things were, they just seemed like I could touch them, and I could see, I could visualize them, but they just didn't. It just it wouldn't move. I felt so stuck, and I kept trying to figure out, how do I receive these promises that God said belong to me? And it was at a place where I was looking, and it was scarcity, and I was like, wait a minute, God, the earth belongs to God, the earth and everything in it. Why am I in this place where I'm experiencing lack? When Psalms 23 says that I shall want for nothing, when the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. So I began to ask God, give me wisdom. Open my eyes so that I can see where I'm missing it. I need to understand what I'm doing to sabotage myself. Because when I'm in you, I flow, and there's nothing that would be withheld from me. So enlighten me and show me the direction in which I should go, because my steps are ordered by you. I trust everything that you tell me. So lead me in the way, put the people around me. The wealth of the wicked that is laid up, let it be released to me. Let me be enlightened to see where I'm missing the mark, so I may obtain it. When I got to that place, because I was seeing my children lacking certain things. I was seeing the paycheck to paycheck, and I chose not to live that lifestyle. So I chose to just cut everything off and to get into a place where I would hear directly from God. And in that season, when you get to that place, sometimes people call it a lonely season, because you have to cut off relationships. You have to cut off old ways, things the way you used to do it. And when I got to that place, it surprisingly, it wasn't a lonely place for me, but it was a place where I could hear. All the noise ceased. Because God even shared with me, there were some things, even when I would be fasting, certain things still wouldn't move. And I couldn't understand why they weren't moving. I'm like, I'm fasting. I'm giving up stuff. And that's when the revelation came. Alignment. You must be aligned in order to receive those great blessings. It's a different level, it's a different dominion, it's a different place. So, in order to receive these things that you see, you're going to have to align yourself, which means even in your finances, you need to align with how you do things. You have some people who will make, and I'm going to say this quickly, you have some people who would, family members, who would think that you should give to them because you are in a place where you can give. But in some situations, it is not for you to give to them. And when you do it upon yourself because you're thinking that you're doing it out of kindness and you're not aligned, you sabotage your own blessings because you're not listening. There is a place that you must go if you desire to be in that place. And in order to obtain it and get to that next level, in order to get to that next season, you have to shut out the noise, and that's including family members. That's including your own self, and align with God's word on how to obtain and how to get to the place where you desire to be. And it will come, and nothing will stop it. When I obtained that mindset, things started to flow like rivers of living water. I want for nothing, and things are continuing to flow. And I'm overflowed with blessings. And it did take hardships, a lot of hardships for me to learn those lessons, because I had a hard time learning how to be quiet because I enjoy talking. So once I got to that place where I decided to align, everything opened for me.
Wow. Ain't much I can say after that. That was a true word from God, because we were wondering how we miss it. how we as believers believe in God. We know what God has said in His Word, but it
Hmm.
seems like we miss it. It's like, God, what are we doing wrong? And then we wait for Him. Like you said, we fast,
Hmm.
nothing changes. We're praying, we're spending time with Him, and yet it's like God is on mute, that
Yes.
He's talking,
Hmm.
but it's like you on mute. I'm not hearing what you're saying. I
Hmm.
know something is going on, but I'm not understanding what it is that's going on, you
Yes.
know? And so when you talked about how it felt to wait during that season, and how you wanted to be aligned with God. How
Hmm.
do we align with God? If you're reading His Word, if you're fasting, if you're praying, we don't know what else more to do.
Though, that alignment requires you, and this is something that I learned, and it's also in the book, Budge.
Yeah.
That alignment requires that you understand, you go back to the laws. When it comes to finances, let me use that one as an example. When it comes to finances, it's important that we understand and we begin to learn about credit, learn about like I kept trying to get an 800 and I couldn't understand why can't I get this 800 credit? Well, I didn't know that on your credit cards you don't spend over 6%. I was like, oh, so there was light bulb. But even before I got to that, I began to ask God, teach me about wealth and how to obtain wealth. So and there was something that was developed. It's a 30 let me see, it's a 30% rule that was developed that God taught me. And it came through one of my favorite books. I love Rich Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. That's one of my favorites. But uh, Babylonian, I can't get my anyway. That's my second favorite. But it talks about the 30% rule, and that's something I began to do. And it was hard at first, but that's when I started to obtain wealth. And then when I began, and that with that 30% rule, quickly it is 10%. Of course, your tithe. 10% you pay back to yourself. And then that 10%, the next 10% is your investment that you put in your savings. So every time that you would get something, and at one point I was like, Father, that's 30%. That's very difficult for me to, and he was like, if you desire to become wealthy without depending on a job, follow these rules, follow these laws, and you will obtain wealth. So I disciplined myself and I started doing it. And then the next thing you know, everything just kept start building up. And then I began to learn more about taxes and more about businesses and things like that. And I will say this, I am so grateful for global empowerment because that's when I budged forward. That's when I got that insight. Because when I started attending global empowerment, Mr. Cartwright blew my mind with how he was so in line with what God was doing in reference to how to obtain wealth. It really it put me on a path where I started running and I haven't stopped since. And I've been obtaining since. So that alignment requires that you get back to a place where you start following laws that requires discipline, which for some people is a curse word. But if you really want it,
Yeah.
you'll do it.
You know, I knew you looked familiar. I don't know why I didn't put two and two together that you went to global.
I still attend, but I attend via CDs. And whenever I get an opportunity, yeah.
I knew you. So
Yeah.
you used to go when it was on Van Dyke?
I no, I well, when he was on the radio, I started when he was on the radio. When I first heard him on the radio, my mind was just like, "Whoa, who is this?"
Yeah.
And so, and then from the first church, and then the second, the church that we're in now, I think I've only been there once, but I just do the CDs and I just keep listening. And so every day I listen. Every day I'm in quiet. So to me, I know this may sound strange to others because I travel abroad. I travel often. To me, um, his voice is with me daily. what God gives him because I put that I listen to it on a continual basis. But I don't just listen to it from the CD from how he's what he's speaking, but I listen to it spiritually. I hear in the spirit and I'll say, Father, then teach me how to do that, what he just said. Show me that. Open the doors where I can do this. So God, when we speak those things and we ask God and we believe, he then puts other people in our path. So even though I'm listening to this and people say, where do you go? I'm global empowerment. And so I'm traveling around the world telling people, if you're ever in Detroit, you need to go to global empowerment, and I'm sharing with them, if you want understanding or if you want a breakthrough, global empowerment, this, Mr. Cartwright, he teaches us this, he teaches us that. And people have come to me while I'm flying and they have shared with me that they went by the visit and it blesses my soul because they don't even live in Michigan. So whenever they come through and then I hear back that they've been there and how it has changed or how it has had a great effect in their lives. And to even there's one young lady, she even started her business. She's in Florida. She started her business and she went there and started getting nuggets and she was like, "Oh my gosh." She's like, "How in the world can, people not know about this man?" And I said, "It's coming and it's time." But yes, that's where I first really grasp on to the knowledge of starting the business and how to set it up. That's where all that information started coming, and I've just been running ever since.
Amen. For those that don't know, Mr. Art Cartwright, he's a millionaire. He's in Detroit. He has a ministry, owns a factory and a software company. And if you saw those robots out on 7 Mile, they went kind of viral on social media. Those are his robots. So he's into robotics now. And as he told us, he was like, he's becoming the top guy in robotics.
Mhm.
Yay, 7 Mile and Lasher, west side of Detroit. Who would have ever thought? And so he teaches people how to start their business, how to get products in stores, and just helps people go to the next level in their business.
Mhm.
So the title, let's talk about the title. We talked about how the title suggests movement. What
Mhm.
does it really mean to budge when fear, comfort, or uncertainty tries to keep us stuck? It's different when we're motivated like you, Miss Sharon, but what about the people that don't that's not motivated, not activated like you are? How do we budge?
See, now I love that you said that because it was a season of obtaining that. And one of the things is I learned that motivation is just something to just like ignite if you're trying to start a fire. But the motivation is not what keeps you. And that's what we have been we were like, if we could just get motivated, if we could just get motivated. It goes beyond that. Because when it goes back to discipline. When you get to a place that you're tired of being tired, you're tired of going through the loop and not seeing the results. When you get to that place, how some people, and this is what I learned, how some people, and including myself, begin to fast. Sometimes it's important that you fast into your discipline because when you do without, and you get to a place where you become accustomed with cutting things off and letting that flesh die so that your spirit can live, and you look at you I begin to look at what I wanted for my children, what I wanted for my grandchildren. And then God took it even forward for even further. He said, your purpose in this world, the reason I have you here, is beyond your inner circle, but it's for my kingdom to come and for my will to be done through my people. So it's important that my people learn how to get unstuck, that they learn that religion is not going to do it, but walking in the spirit and learning my ways is what's going to help you get forward. So in the season or in that season, God began to enlighten me. You need to start studying discipline. Once you start discovering discipline, then you learn the steps on how to do that. That's where the Budge app came in. That's the purpose of the app because it helps you to track. And what's so great is that every day is a new day. So every day, even when let's just say you get sidetracked, that's all right. You wake up in the morning, it's a new day. One of the first things you're going to do, you're going to drink your water that's by your bedside because many of us don't get enough water and we become dehydrated and you're tired and you wonder why you're tired all the time. Put some lemon in your water if you have to, just because some people don't like to care for the taste of water. So have that on your bedside because that water in the morning is going to give you that little bit of kick just to get you going because some people drag out of bed. Some people need their caffeine. So even with that, I even have even in the book or even in the track app, have your caffeine, have that next to your bed so that when you wake up, you don't even have to be trying to be thinking, oh, I don't, all those negative thoughts. You can just get them on out the way, drink your water, have your little bit of caffeine, so it will give you that boost, so you can budge. That's a part of the budge. So you're like, oh, okay, all right, all right. So budge forward actually has a budge four. And then there's a song that's been written and it is called Budge Forward and it's 4, 3, 2, 1. And you're counting down as you're getting ready to move forward. It's like you're just shaking yourself loose. But anyway, with that, the app teaches you, it gives you a tracking system so that and that's what I was talking about the moods. You can actually just use that. You could be in your bed with your phone and just move this is where I'm at right now. You start to look at the results. Research yourself, learn yourself, see what causes your emotions to respond the way that they do. When you start to study yourself and show yourself approved, you start to study who you are and who God has created you to be and not what someone else has told you you should be. When when you see people who commit suicide, there are different reasons why people do that. But it's one reason is they don't know who they are because if they knew their value, if they knew their purpose and their reason for being here on earth, for God's kingdom to come through them, they then would be that would be a part of their motivation to live. So the book addresses, or the app addresses you to discover who you are, and not who someone else has told you you are. So you'll begin, it has it where you'll begin to analyze yourself. You begin to pick yourself. You begin to choose. There's a habit. There's a part where there's a habit where it teaches you where you'll begin to put in your habits. And then you will have a section in there where you look and you say, okay, how can I change this habit? So it gives you step by step on how you make the changes so that you can see your own progress and you can follow. It gives you your breathing because that's one thing that we need to do. People don't understand that oxygen, you need to get that oxygen into your brain before you get going. So you can just push on the app, the breathing app by itself. So with the app, you can just go to the area where you need to go so that you can address you. So that box breathing, when you're breathing in 4 seconds and you're holding it, it has a timer. You can touch the timer and then you hold it and it will do it for you. And you can just watch it breathing in and out. So you don't have to try to figure it out yourself. It's already there. The meditation app, it has music so that you can just be to soothe you in the morning for your mind to get everything ready so that it has that meditation there so that you can prepare yourself even before your prayer. So it helps you to be in tuned with the frequency of the Holy Spirit that leads us and guides us. And the Holy Spirit is a person, the Holy Spirit is real that lives on the inside of us. And when we don't listen to it, we quench it. So the app teaches us how to revive it and bring it back up to its surface so that we can address what has held us back and what has kept us stuck.
So we got to close out,
Yes.
but this is the most important part of everybody watching the show. How do we get this book and how do we get this app?
Once, and I'm so glad you asked. Once again, it is Budge, Budge. You can go to www.budgeforward.com. Um, but it's once again, it will not be released until the 1st of January, but you can actually go get a taste of the app. You can actually go in there and go down towards, scroll down to the bottom, and you can open it up and send me a message and let me know that you listening on the show. And everyone that sends, once again, you send an email so that you will get your free copy of the book, and the app automatically comes free.
Okay. So it's time for you to do 2 minute closeout. This has been very powerful. This is what we need at the ending of the year to because it kind of like wipes away everything that has stuck got froze us because sometimes they talk about fear or flight, but there's freeze too.
Yes.
Sometimes we freeze up because life comes as it's so hard, and
Mhm.
it's just like when bullets are shooting, a lot of bullets, you don't know which way to go. If I might run into a bullet here, I might, well, let me just stay here. Maybe if I'm okay if I stand here. And that's what life has done for a lot of us this year. But you're telling us you got to move forward, because if you stand there, you definitely is in the line of the enemy's fire. So
Yes.
either way it go, you got to take a chance and think that maybe this right move is the right move. Maybe the
Yes.
left move is the left move, but you got to be led by the Holy Spirit. And I think
Yes.
that's what we have gotten away from. We think the Holy Spirit is something that we catch, something that we hear, but He's here to lead and guide us to all truth.
Yes.
Everything that we need is in the Holy Spirit. So
Mm.
sometimes we're operating off two parts or one part of the Trinity of the Godhead when it's three parts to the Godhead. We have a
Yes.
three-way helper here,
Mhm.
but I'm gonna let you
Mhm.
do the 2 minute closeout. So while you do the 2 minute closeout,
Okay.
what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go on your website and I'm going to share your website.
Okay.
All right. There we go. All right, give us a 2 minute close.
Okay. This season invites intentional living. Every choice carries weight. Every habit shapes direction. Intentionality enhances freedom. When you choose deliberately, you budge forward with purpose rather than drift. And this movement is honored because it reflects respect for the gift of time. You may also experience joy that exists simply because you trust. This joy to the world is resilient. It remains even when outcomes fluctuate. Also, this season unfolds, or as this season unfolds, remain attentive to your inner prompts. They are refined awareness. You're being shaped into someone who can carry increase without losing your center. What lies ahead will require courage, courage to remain faithful, courage to remain patient, and courage to trust God and budge forward when outcomes are still forming. This trust does not waver with numbers. This trust remains when outcomes fluctuate. This trust knows God's involvement is deeper than the visible results. This trust becomes your greatest asset because it stabilizes every other blessing. Budge forward without fear, without haste, and without doubt. What has started will continue. What has been aligned will be sustained. What has been entrusted will be guided. And through every stage of this unfolding season, as you budge forward, God remains constant, faithful, and fully involved. So budge and be the next move.
Amen. That was wonderful. Tell them, give them your website again.
Once again, Budge, www.budgeforward.com. www.budgeforward.com.
All right. For those out there on Facebook, I did put it in the posting section of this video so you can just click the link or just copy and paste and just go to her website. And I just briefly showed you her website. She shows you on there how you can download the app, how you can order the book. The book comes out January the 1st, right?
That is correct, January
Ah,
1st.
right in,
That's when
just
the
right on
app will
time.
also be active.
Yes, and the app
Yes,
will be active then. So
yes,
we already got you pre-ready. You're already in it
yes,
before you can even start to win it. So,
yes.
get ready, get prepared. God is budging you to start with the small step, and now you got the website. Now
And for
you
your free
know for
copy, don't
sure.
forget your free copy. If you want a free copy, Budge, Budge, at budgeforward.com. If you want a free copy, Budge at budgeforward.com. Send me your email, let me know that you were on the show and the Ruby Girl show, and we will make sure you get your free copy.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go from another email address to get. No, I'm kidding. No, somebody put it in the comments. Tell it one more time. All right, my Facebook secretary, you ready? All right.
That's right. Here you go. Budge, Budge, at budgeforward.com for your free copy. Budge at budgeforward.com for your free copy of the Budge book.
Okay, Budge forward is Budge forward,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, we got it. All right, Miss Sharon, thank you so much.
Bless you all.
We
Mwah.
know that your book is going to be successful. We want to get it in our hand because 2026, we're making moves and
Yes.
we're not looking to be motivated. That's what I got. If I didn't get anything else, we always say, I want to be motivated. My
Mhm.
doctor told me this. She said, you take action and that's how you become motivated.
There
We're
you
just
go.
been taught I got to be motivated to do this. So that's why we don't do anything
That's
because
just
we
an extra
haven't taken
bonus.
that. Yes, there you go. That's the bonus of it. But you got to be disciplined. Once
There
you
you
are
go.
disciplined,
Mhm.
then you do the action. And like you say, if it motivates you to do, because I mean, we go to work. Who's really motivated to go to work?
Thank you.
So for that paycheck, now that's motivation. But
Yes, it is.
anyway, thank you, Miss Sharon. I have really enjoyed talking to you, listening to your wisdom that you have shared with us, and I know that your book is going to be another bestseller
I'm
because you're
looking
a
forward to
woman
it.
of valor, you're a woman of worth, and you have a God standard in your life. You can see excellence all over you. So
Thank you.
Facebook, we're signing off Facebook. So I want to thank y'all. I'll be back next week. Next week is the closeout for Ruby Girl. So if you're familiar, every year I give y'all an update on what's coming, what I've been working on. I always have a surprise for y'all. I don't know what I got to do this week, so y'all can be surprised next week. But I'm gonna try to do something. But anyway, tune in next Tuesday at 8:30. I thank you everybody that shared this. If you haven't shared it, you got time to share this, the replay. And I thank everybody that comment, everybody that supports the Ruby Girl Talk. But tune in next Tuesday. I'll be interviewed by Marietta Mills Jones, the three-time award-winning, maybe three, four, five, six-time award-winning author. So, and she'll be interviewing me, asking me questions. I'm gonna be on the hot seat, y'all. So y'all have a blessed and wonderful night. And me and Miss Sharon, we're signing off. Facebook. All right. Good night, y'all.
Good night, y'all.